Tim and Melyza have gotten back together, and oh my god, they actually got engaged. I can't believe this because you guys, like a week ago, Tim and Melyza were on 90 Day Bears All, the 90 Day Fiancé spinoff, and they went on there and said, hey, we're not together, we have broken up. Tim broke up with Melyza. He said he was dating other women, and he even went off on her. He was going like freaking insane crazy. Well, this week on 90 Day Bears All, guess what? Tim and Melyza, they're not just back together. Tim hasn't just moved back to Colombia, they are engaged. Oh my god, I cannot believe this. You guys, we had 90 Day Fiancé last night, which I will talk about in a couple of minutes, but first, we gotta talk about Tim and Melyza, because like I was saying, they were freaking going off on each other. And basically what happened was Tim, he was out of a job, when he was in Colombia, he couldn't find a job, he couldn't get any work, he ended up going back to America, then the pandemic hit, and him and Melyza were trying to make it work, but I think she was kind of getting suspicious. He was talking to some of his lady friends at work, which is not a good sign if you're Melyza, and he just got so fed up and annoyed, he finally ended up ending it with her, and he was freaking mad. He was crying. The guy is a freaking crier, which, hey, good props to him, because I'm clearly not, but he was freaking crying, and so he ended it with her, and then that was it for their relationship, so I thought. But then we got to see on this week's 90 Day Bears All episode that they were back on, and it was first they were back on, and it was like when they weren't together yet, and basically he was still mad, they were still fighting, he was crying, but Melyza kind of opened up and said that she actually would be with him if he wanted. She was like, I would take him back, I still love him. She was crying, and for once in Melyza's life, she kind of seemed to give a crap and have some emotions, because usually she's kind of just stone cold, if you know what I mean, but she seemed to kind of give a crap, and Tim was like, I don't want to do it, we've been there before, her family hates me, but one thing led to another. They slowly started to communicate again, and they both just realized, apparently, that they're just meant for each other, I guess, and one thing led to another, and he went back to Colombia, and they made their relationship work, and 24 hours after he got to Colombia, he got down on one knee and asked her the infamous question, will you marry me? And she said yes. And now for all the questions on, is Tim working in Colombia? I don't know. And the other question too is, does Melyza's family now like Tim more? Because if you don't remember, they couldn't stand the guy after he cheated on her. And so those questions, I don't know. I have no idea. And I honestly I'm going to try to reach out to Melyza and Tim, because Melyza commented on one of my Instagram pictures, so maybe I can get them to come on this channel if y'all want and do a little bit of an interview to spill some more beans. But they're back together and they are engaged. Now they aren't married, so that's the question I have for y'all. Will they be getting married anytime soon? I don't know. So comment below what y'all think, if you can see them getting married anytime soon. Me personally, they'll probably just freaking do it. I don't know if it's for the right reason, but they probably will just end up getting married. That's what I think, but comment below what y'all think on Tim and Melyza. And guys, like I said, we got to see 90 Day Fiancé last night, and it was actually surprisingly a pretty bizarrely interesting episode. A lot of stuff went down. Number one, the first couple I want to talk about is Andrew and Amira. And if you guys don't know, I actually just interviewed Andrew's mom on my channel not so long ago. Now, the interview has not gone live yet. I'm going to edit it right now, and in like a day or so I will post it. But I interviewed Andrew's mom about her thoughts on Amira, and she shared some pretty interesting stuff, so stay tuned for that interview. But Andrew and Amira, oh my god, Amira made it to Serbia, and she's going to Serbia. Her plan is to go there, quarantine for 14 days, and then come to America. And now I'm not trying to pick sides at all. I've heard some insane rumors about Amira lately, that Amira has just been trying to get fame, and that it sounds like, honestly, that she might even have another man. I don't know if that's true. That's just what some people were kind of, insinuating on, that she might actually have another man, which is kind of crazy. But either way, she goes to Serbia. She was kind of complaining a lot that she has to quarantine and whatnot, and I get it. It would kind of suck. I am kind of curious, how is she going to get food if she has to stay in her hotel room for 14 days? That seems kind of weird. But either way, she's there. She's going to quarantine, and it looks like, according to the preview for the next episode, that she really is going to have a tough time getting on the plane coming to America, which that just sounds ridiculous. Like, what? She already made it this far. And if Amira does not get on that freaking plane to go to America, I don't know why, because it just doesn't make any sense. But we got to see that she was fighting with Andrew. They were fighting about kids. They were fighting about a bunch of weird stuff. And it's like, okay, she already made it this far. She got deported last time, and now if she can get on the freaking plane, if she does not get on it, I am just going to be at a loss of words. But Andrew, he was all happy. It looked looks like he's kind of pushing her to go to Serbia and to do all this stuff, and Amira was kind of acting like she actually just wanted to hold back and then maybe just try to renew the visa and kind of wait it off. But, you know, that's how the show is making it look. But Andrew keeps claiming on social media that was not true. She was dying to come here to America, and it was all a bunch of big, big lies. So I don't really know. I don't know who to believe. But like I said, I interviewed his mom, and I'm telling y'all, it was very good. So stay tuned for that interview in just like a day or so. And then we saw Rebecca and Ziad, and now their whole storyline is basically this. They're here, they're doing decently well, I guess. Very bizarre couple. And Ziad said that because he has this Ramadan thing coming up, I don't even know if I'm even pronouncing that right, so if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. But he has this Ramadan thing coming up, and pretty much the deal is he wants to get married before then. And if he doesn't get married before then, he does not want to be living in the same place as her, which is kind of ridiculous because they've been doing God knows what. They've been staying together before, and it's like now all of a sudden he needs to make these rules. So that's what Rebecca was saying. I kind of agree with Rebecca. I get where he's coming from, but you can't pick and choose your rules. If you're going to follow the rules, you have to always follow the rules. And I am sure with his whole religion thing, them doing God knows what together before marriage is probably not allowed either. So he's totally just trying to pick and choose, and he's pushing her saying, hey, we need to get married before Ramadan. And she's like, that's like a week away. So she's freaking out, of course. And keep in mind, her previous marriage with her ex that ended, it was god-awful marriage, it was kind of forced too, and she really got pushed into doing it. So she's nervous about that. And I get where both of them are coming from, but it's like, Ziad, my only question for you guys is just why? Why did you not tell her this previously? That's my only issue. Just why? You guys had so much time to talk and FaceTime and text and message before you came to America. Why on earth did you not feel the need to tell her, hey, oh yeah, by the way, we need to get married before Ramadan? Why not ever think to tell her that? And then there was Joey and Yara. And this was probably one of the stupidest things Joey ever did in his entire life, and honestly, it kind of made me not like Joey. Not that I'm a big fan of him anyway, but I kind of thought that Yara was being rude to him in the past, but after seeing this clip, I was kind of like, ooh, that was not cool. Basically, what happened was, before we got to see them go out, we got to see Yara and Joey's mom, Gwen, go dress shopping, and Yara ended up inviting Gwen to the wedding, and that was nice, that was sweet, woohoo, that was great. She was really happy, so that was cool to see. However, later that night, or even, that might have been the next day, Yara slipped, and so she kind of had like some back pain. She went to an urgent care. They were nervous about the baby. Thank God she is okay, but she did not seem to be doing very well. And of course, typical timing, that was also the same night as the guy's bachelor party. And of course, Joey, the big gigantic partier, he had to go out and do God knows what. And the craziest thing is, not only is Yara kind of somewhat sick and not feeling great at home, also, they're going to Vegas to get married in like 8 hours. And of course, the idiot has to go out that night. So it was one thing after another. You could see Yara didn't want him going out, and I get it. But it's like, dude, what the, come on. Why are you going? It was just like, you know what? If you're going to Vegas, if I was him, if I'm going to Vegas in like 8 hours, why can't you have the party in Vegas? And not only that, even still, he kept saying, well, this is the last time I'm going to be a bachelor. Okay, that's a bunch of crap. You can still go out and party and do whatever you want to do. That is a load of crap. And if you are going to go out and cheat on her or anything, well then, you probably shouldn't even be getting married to her. So I just think it's a load of crap coming from him. He should not have gone out. He drank way too much. He had no idea what was going on. And Yara was starting to kind of get furious. And it looks like in the preview for the next episode that when they do go to Vegas, she wouldn't even talk to him. And he looked so messed up and just out of it. I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't even go to bed. He might not even have came home that night. And that's where I just think that's stupid. Honestly, that's ridiculous. He had no business going out. The guy can go out any night of the week when he's not working and do it then. But why do you have to go out when your, soon-to-be wife is not feeling great? And you're going to Vegas in a couple hours, so that was just ridiculous. And the icing on the cake was Joey and his, two friends. One of the friends' name was like Chaz or Kaz. I think it was Kaz. It was Kaz. What kind of name is Kaz? I don't know. And if that is your name, I'm sorry. But it was like, that's his name, Kaz. But anyway, he was kind of the friend that was kind of pushing them, go do this, go do that. And they went to an adult, dancing place. And yeah, next thing you know, Joey goes upstairs with one of the ladies, and I just probably not the best thing to happen. And I'm sure he did not tell Yara, but I'm sure one thing, that Yara has now seen this thing because it was on national television, and I'm also sure she was not very happy. So we got to see her and him go to the airport the next day. She was crying, she was mad, which that's not very new for her, but still, I bet she got some word of what went down, and she was probably pretty freaking upset. And then there was Brandon and Julia, and they're boring. They went and basically just looked at a freaking chapel church to get married at. It's in the middle of the pandemic. It was filmed around March, so I'm kind of watching this thinking, ooh, okay, are they gonna shut, where I was living, everything got shut down, churches, everything. So I don't see how they could have actually gotten married if everything was in full effect and if all the churches were shut down and the courts were shut down, but they went and looked at a church. Basically, Brandon seems to kind of be zoned out. I just think honestly, Julia kind of got mad that he's zoned out. He doesn't know why they want to get married on this specific date and this, that, and the other. And for me personally, I was just like, oh, who cares? It's not that big of a deal. And I think Brandon just wants to get married just because he wants to get married and have Julia here, and that's it. But Julia, she's kind of more of a romantic. It was not that big of a deal, I thought, but she got really upset that he does not know everything about the wedding and that his mom is more involved in the wedding than him. But number one, Brandon's a freaking idiot, and if you have not already realized that, Julia, you got something coming to you, girl, because he's an idiot. And number two, not that it's a girl thing, but the guy's just out of it. He doesn't even have any idea what's going on half the time. So I wasn't very shocked because at the church, someone asked him, well, hey, why are you getting married on this date? And he had no idea. And Julia was embarrassed and she got mad and she was upset. But it's like, what do you expect from the guy? The guy doesn't even know what day it is half the time. So his parents baby the crap out of him. I'm sure he has no idea. So I didn't think it was a big deal. I was not shocked. But Julia was pretty freaking mad. And that was about it for those two. We're not going to see a whole lot of Brandon and Julia drama on this episode. And then we got to see Tariq and Hazel. And I mean, I'm honestly, I want to have this guy on my channel for one reason. I want to sit him down and ask him, how do you pronounce your name? Because I have heard people call him Tariq. I have heard, his friend in the last episode called him Tariq. So it's like, how do you pronounce this guy's name? But I call him Tariq. That's how I was, that's how I thought it was. That's how Dean and everyone else used to call him. His name is Tariq. But anyway, we got to see him and Hazel, and it's the same old conversation about Minty, and then Minty, and then Minty, and then Minty, and Minty. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but I literally cannot stand to hear that girl's name one other time because this is the situation we're in. Okay, Hazel came over here on a K-1 visa to get married in 90 days. They're here. They're really not doing very bad. They have very little drama going on in their life, pretty much. They do want to get a third person in their relationship, I think preferably a woman, not a guy, but they want to get a girl in this relationship to have a three-way relationship, which is fantastic. That's their only drama, and because they have little to no drama going on in their season, they keep talking about one of their ex-girlfriends, Minty, and there's no drama, there's nothing with it, nothing is going on, and it's just like they keep talking about her, and oh my god, it's freaking annoying. So there's really not much going on with them. Minty's name keeps floating around. Supposedly, Reek keeps, communicating with her. If that's true, which I don't think it even is true, but if it is true, the guy's a freaking moron. I could see him maybe saying, hey, I hope all's well every few weeks, which that even in itself is dumb, because you're not going to stay friends with her, and if you know that your soon-to-be wife hates her, why would you even contact her? But I doubt it's even true, to be honest, but he's acting like, they're in distant communication, and Hazel was like, if you're talking to her, I don't even know if I want him to go through this, which that's the biggest load of crap, because you're there, you're going to get married to him, and that's the end of story. And not only that, it's like you're in the middle of a pandemic, so you're certainly not going to be going home anytime soon. You are for sure going to be marrying him. And did they get a third girlfriend? God only freaking knows. I have no idea. I'll tell you guys one thing though, they are boring, and not a whole lot going on with them. They're just trying to ride out this Minty drama, which is starting to kind of get a hair bit boring. And then there was Mike and Natalie, and they are also one of the most boring, they're not boring, they're just annoying. That's the better word, annoying. They're freaking annoying to watch, that's all. Basically what happened was Mike finally, after Natalie begged for her ring back, he finally pulled the ring out with about 15 days left to get married. He pulled the ring out, put it in her face like it's a freaking carrot, putting it, it's like a piece of candy, putting a piece of candy in front of a kid or something. And she was just so happy. Oh my god, he's gonna give me the ring. And then of course, what does he do? She says some stupid comment, and I told my friends, I go, you know what? He's gonna pull that ring out of her face, because he pulled it right up in her face. And then she was looking at it like it was like a freaking piece of gold. And then all of a sudden she goes, okay, so are we gonna forget everything that happened back then? and you see his face. He's all happy, he was gung-ho, then all of a sudden the face went to a frown, and he pulled the ring out, and I go, oh, okay, there it goes, so he's never gonna ever give her the freaking ring. But then she kind of calmed him down, he ended up giving her the ring, and now I guess they're back on, oh my god. So she does go dress shopping, and she has no idea when they're gonna get married, if they're gonna get married inside or outside, or what they're going to do. She doesn't have the slightest clue. And so it was kind of awkward, and finally the person at the dress shop just said, hey, you know, you should probably just get married legally. If you have to get married in like 14, 15 days, you should probably just get married legally and then backpedal and have an actual big wedding. And I think that's what, I believe that's what she's going to actually do. I don't see her and Mike having a big wedding if they do actually get married. But that's what they were doing. Then they were fighting, and they were going back and forth, and we got to see this preview where it looked like, you know, Natalie's packing her bags to go home. Now, legally, if you don't already know, they got married. Now, I don't know if they got married and she went home. I don't know what on earth happens. I have no idea. All I know is by the law, the United States law, they're married. So that's all I know. That's all I'm going to comment on. But somehow she acts like she's leaving. She said that the marriage is done, but somehow they end up getting married. So it's freaking annoying to watch. I am just ready for the end with those two. And that's it. That's all I got to say. They're freaking incredibly annoying, though. And last but not least, we got to see Stephanie. And no, there was no Ryan. Ryan peaced out. He is gone. And I tried to get Ryan to come on my channel, but I've gotten no response so far. So I'm not a fan of him. But anyway, we had Harris, who was Ryan's cousin. He ended up coming to see Stephanie. He took a boat. He took a bus. He took a train. He took a, you know, horse and carriage and everything to come over here, and it was like 7 or 8 hour trip. He finally made it to Stephanie's resort, and he's staying with her for like 3 or 4 days, and things kind of got weird. Number one, everyone's been telling me this, and I have to agree, Stephanie seemed out of it. I don't know if she was tired, I don't know if she was on something, I don't know what was going on, but she just seemed like she wasn't even physically there. Like, she was just like out of it. I mean, honestly, she had to been on a little something, because it didn't make, I don't know what was going on, but it did not make much sense. So she was kind of just, you know, dozying around, if I'm gonna be real honest. And Harris, he was just into it. Honestly, you know what? I think if she would have married Ryan, there's not a shot it would have worked. He would have cheated. He would have lied. Harris probably would have cheated too, honestly. Let's be real. He probably would have, because he ended up admitting that he has a baby mama, and I think he's still living with her, and I believe he's still in a relationship with her. So he was out of the relationship's kind of up and down, kind of rocky, but I think he's still with her. But either way, I could kind of almost have seen Stephanie if she would have, you know, married him with Harris. I mean, I could almost kind of see it working. Don't ask me why, but I could almost kind of see it somehow kind of working. Probably not, but I almost kind of could, because Harris, he seems to be a nice guy. He does seem to kind of try, and he's polite, and he's a nice enough guy, kind of. But Ryan, I thought he was a jerk from the start. But so we get to see them together. It's just kind of bizarre to see, because number one, like I said, Stephanie, she's freaking out of it, and Harris ended up admitting that he has several kids, and that he's still like with a baby mama. So I was like, oh my god, are they on like a date right now? And then Stephanie was kind of like, well, we're gonna put that stuff to the side for tonight. And I was like, ooh, this is kind of weird. So anyway, they end up going back to her room, and I kind of thought, because he admitted that he had the kids, and that he's still with kind of the baby mama, I was like, oh, they probably won't be doing anything back in his room. But he went with her, and I can only imagine, if I was a gambling man, they'd probably do a little something if I had to guess. But Stephanie didn't seem very down, and she seemed so tired and just kind of dozed out of it. So maybe they don't. I don't know for sure, but definitely kind of weird to see. And I was shocked to hear that Harris has a family and a freaking baby mom that I thought it was said that it sounded like he was still in a relationship with. And that was it. The only thing I'm sitting there curious about is number one, Natalie and Mike. I'm curious what happens. And the real thing I want to know, I don't care about anyone else. The only thing I want to know now is Andrew and Amira, and I'm so freaking curious what is going on behind the scenes, because there are people saying that Amira is a liar. There are people saying Andrew's a liar. Both parties have text, they have screenshots, they have all this stuff, and like no one's really releasing anything yet. And so I am just so freaking curious what is going on, who is telling the truth, and that's all I want to know is the freaking truth. And is there a possibility that Andrew and Amira are still maybe together, and maybe they're doing it, do some kind of a reverse, you know, psychology kind of stuff? I don't know. Might be a long shot, but you never really freaking know in this day and age. So guys, 90 Day Fiancé, freaking pretty good episode. And Tim, Melyza, oh my god, not a fan of that relationship, but hey, to each their own, you know, they can do what they want to do. But anyway, guys, 90 Day Fiancé, make sure to hit that like button, hit the comments below, please hit the share button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.